According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, the jobs with the highest increase in demand are data analysts and data scientists, artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists, and big data specialists. The skills for these roles are critical for opening doors to new jobs. They are not, however, the most critical skills for accelerating the growth of your career. In this video, I pull from several pieces of research, including the 2022 Learning and Development Annual Trends Report from Duarte, the Future Skills Work Report from the Institute for the Future, the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report, and the Microsoft 2022 Work Trend Index Annual Report. From these research reports, and my own personal experience of being on the leadership team of a data and artificial intelligence consulting firm, the three most critical skills to accelerate the growth of your career are communication, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. Unlike technical skills, which often apply to one job function, communication, emotional intelligence, and adaptability are relevant, applicable, and transferable across disciplines and roles. When we look at the Duarte report, we see communication skills are vital, but they're lacking in the workforce. The importance of communication skills in helping organizations achieve their goals is critical. The problem is we are just a little bit above average in our ability to communicate well. And when we drill down, the most important communication skills are communicating well in virtual, remote, online settings, being able to clarify complex concepts, listening and being empathetic in the way we communicate, more on that later in the video, and using various communication mediums effectively. In the work environment, that means presentations, emails, chats, meetings, videos, and reports. Writing grows with importance in a virtual work setting, and your writing style needs to change based on the medium you are using. Regardless of the technology, good writing means you are understood, means people's minds are changed, and it means people remain interested. The COVID pandemic changed business forever. A 2021 survey by Duarte found 89% of survey respondents predict their organizations will embrace flex or hybrid models for the future. Gartner Research predicts 25% of business meetings in 2024 will happen in person. Data from another Duarte report says we are not doing so good on the virtual communication front. Virtual online communication skills rate at just under 6 out of 10, while virtual online presentation skills drop to 5.6. This means the ability to effectively communicate via virtual presentations becomes a must to advance your career. You'll need to become aware of how a virtual environment changes the way you need to create and deliver presentations. Writing, design, and presentation skills must be developed in a virtual-first world. We'll cover each of these in greater detail in future videos. In the meantime, I recommend buying Presenting Virtually to learn more about communicating and connecting with online audiences. The pace of business today is the slowest it will be for the rest of your life. We are in the digital age, and digital makes everything faster. When speed is of the essence, our ability to adapt becomes our greatest strength. Two skill sets rise in importance: sense-making and critical thinking. Sense-making is the ability to determine the deeper meaning or significance of what is being expressed. You need to be able to bring together vast amounts of data and translate the data into something useful to identify opportunities before others. Critical thinking is the ability to think in creative and critical ways. This enables you to come up with better ways of attacking opportunities and challenges. Better thinking can be taught. One of the best ways to improve critical thinking skills is to utilize better approaches to decision-making. Design Sprint is an example of a better approach to making collaborative decisions. Born out of Google Ventures, a Design Sprint brings a small cross-functional team together and utilizes a structured approach to create alignment on an important challenge via collaborative decision-making and visualization techniques. By going through the process, you enable people to improve their critical thinking skills in an enjoyable and productive manner. Facilitators become a valuable role for organizations to get teams aligned on a best path forward. If you can create structured processes that enable better decision-making, that adds immense value for your company. Another great resource for leading groups to better decisions is Gamestorming, which provides 80 different exercises to help teams make better decisions. Sense-making and critical thinking requires a broad understanding of business. This means understanding business models and then digging into your specific organization's business processes to understand how you create value and maintain profitability. Business Model Generation is an excellent book for understanding business models. All business models can be broken down into 9 building blocks. What's great about the Business Model Generation book is that it provides a canvas that gives you a guided set of questions to work through a business model. You can use the canvas for an individual business unit, group, division, or an entire enterprise. And a final resource I love is Business Made Simple. It's a 60-day guide that introduces you to 10 fundamental areas where leaders excel. In short, the more you learn, the more adaptable you become. The Great Reshuffle is far from over. The experiences of the last 2 years have fundamentally changed how we define the role of work in our lives. The 2022 Microsoft Work Trend Index report examines this topic in detail. One of the central questions is, how do we build social ties in a digital-first world? The potential loss of connections puts more pressure on each of us to build and grow relationships within and across our teams. The report found employees hired since March 2020 are less likely to feel included, have weaker relationships with their direct team, and are at greater risk of leaving their employer in the year ahead. Microsoft's CEO, Satya Nadella, recognized the importance of emotional intelligence in driving company performance. He made it a strategic priority to create a new framework to help managers deliver success with their teams through empowerment and accountability. Microsoft's Model, Coach, Care leadership framework grows the emotional intelligence of all employees, not just leaders. There are 3 manager expectations at Microsoft. Model the culture. Are you walking the walk daily? Coach your team by defining objectives, adapting to changing circumstances, and continuously learn with a growth mindset. And care deeply and invest in the growth of your colleagues by displaying empathy, showing employees they are valued, and holding them accountable. Intentionally modeling culture, values, and leadership principles helps shape their culture transformation, which has been a core reason for Microsoft's resurgence. The framework is something anyone can utilize, and by practicing the specific items, you are building your emotional intelligence skills. Microsoft's created a class on LinkedIn Learning that walks through each part of the framework. Communication, adaptability, and emotional intelligence are hard skills to master. They are by definition complex and behavioral in nature, and they represent what are uniquely human skills that cannot be done by machines. This becomes more and more important as the World Economic Forum report calls out. By 2025, the time spent on current tasks at work by humans and machines will be equal. That ratio will only continue to rise in the favor of the machines. To summarize, the skills that are the most human in nature are the ones to master to accelerate the growth of your career. I hope you found this video useful, and all the resources that I mentioned are in the description of the video. If you have an interest in improving these critical skills, or would like to learn how to use technology better to improve your productivity, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'll see you on the next video.